It's the 23rd of October 2024. You're most welcome to the NILEcast only on West Nile Television. Let's see what's happening in the headlines tonight. Our Central Division on the 22nd of October 2024 released and handed over the PLE mock results to the schools that sat for exams and where social studies was the best done subject while mathematics was the least performed. Farish Majid reports.
With a few days to the Uganda National Examinations Board for the primary level candidates, Arua Central Division on the 22nd of August 2024 released and handed the PLE mock results to the schools that sat for the examinations. This was in a function attended by the division leaders and teachers at the division hall where the best schools were acknowledged. Honorable Osino Rashid, the Secretary for Social Services in Central Division, raised the challenge of paper printing for the fair performance and called for improvement in quality in the coming years.
Paper printing, one of the challenges this week was here was paper printing. Some of the pupils failed because the paper printing outcome was actually poor quality paper printing, missing words, spelling errors, and other things. I would wish to pledge this council behind printing that paper for the examination paper. Next time when you have that examination set, bring the papers here so that the council prints them out. The council prints them out, and it will happen because we have been speaking such similar statements before you, and the similar statements are right now yielding fruits that you see here. I want to place my council before you that this council is 90% corruption-free.
Drakuma Malik, the town clerk of Central Division, lauded the schools in compliance to tax payment.
In the mobilization and collection of our revenues. So we need to, this is the fruit of what you have been doing. I remember you were recognized, at the time during the annual review budget performance of Central Division, the association was recognized. It did not come out of blue. So please, when we work as a team, when we do good things, yes, as an accounting officer, I was able to try my level best to give you the funds. But if these funds were not put to right use, that I'm coming. If the funds were not put to right use, we are not going to see this.
All comes to us. We're all going to celebrate. I want to assure you that next year we're going to award best schools, both private and government, and also best pupils. That budget was approved by my bosses. It's there. So we're only waiting for the PLE results to come, and we're going to call all of you back to award the best schools.
Judith Bako, the Assistant Resident City Commissioner in charge of Central Division, appreciated the schools for the efforts and urged them to add efforts in the final examinations.
Now, I would like to thank every head teacher who is here, especially for the mock results that have been released today. And I want to thank your efforts that has yielded a number of first grades, second grades, third grades, because I believe those ones in third grade, when they work hard in the remaining days, putting God amidst, they can be able to surprise us and even make it in first grade. Let us not lose hope.
In the two sets of results over a City Academic Board and West Nile Primary Schools Head Teachers Association, Queens and Kings Nursery and Primary School emerged as the best schools, as social studies was the best done subject, while mathematics was the least performed in the ACHAB examinations. Masi Draru, Faris Majid, West Nile TV, NILEcast.
More in our stories this evening. During a stakeholder engagement on education at Obongi District Council Hall, the resident district commissioner Mpimbiza Samuel Hakassa vowed to deal with the perpetrators of defilement within the district. Take a look.
According to the resident district commissioner, many girls who are below 18 years within the district are being defiled and married off without anybody caring about it, something which he said has led to high rate of school dropout in the district. Mr. Mpimbaza Samuel Hasaka, the resident district commissioner, described defilement cases within the district being at a crisis level and called upon every concerned person to take up the fight against the vice, which he said is mainly committed by key figures within the district, and vowed to deal with the perpetrators even if the people are reluctant about the vice.
Defilement, we are at crisis level. We are now second to Karamoja, Obongi district. People are defiling children left, right, and center. Leaders are defining children, and the matter has not come here. Let's also have a recommendation that anybody who defiles should be arrested and prosecuted. 7 years defiling a platinum or ground. People who include a senior technical staff of Obongi district local government have inflated the age of the girls from 13 to 17. And I was being approached after they got 5 million shillings.
Mr. Angala Patrick, the District Education Officer Obongi, confirms that defilement cases within the district are on the rise, but blamed the parents of the victims and the police for always conniving with the perpetrators, which always makes them walk free after committing the crime, but said he is now optimistic that they can fight against the vice with the help of the resident district commissioner, who has now come out to take up the fight personally.
Defilement is existing in Obongi. They are there, I confirm. Any child that gets pregnant below 18 is a defilement case. They are there. Now, how are we getting to get the perpetrators? We don't condone defilement in our schools. As a department, as a local government, we condemn all perpetrators who cause our girls to be defiled. Cases that reach us are reported to police. However, the challenge is now from police, these cases, the way they are managed is questionable. The very parents of the perpetrators and the relatives of the perpetrators and the parents of the girl tend to connive to should I call it, come to an agreement among themselves illegally.
Meanwhile, Rangaranga Abdullahi, the health assistant of Obongi Town Council, said child marriage coupled with poor parenting are the leading causes of poor performance of the learners across the district, and said there is need for the people to change their mindset and address the issues of child marriage if they want to improve the level of education within the district.
Child marriage is the cause here that our children will not reach family education, because these parents are not taking care of children and family benefits. Both these young ones and even others, when the family breaks, these children are in problem. These children are either left with the parent, the father, or the mother goes to these children. And this mother will leave these children again to the grandmother. This mother is no longer. These children will struggle there. You see them in town, these children who are located in town, and most of them drop out. If you get the bag when you find these children whose parents are growing up in their mother.
Kareolili Duku, the parish chief Ngungu Parish, blamed men for failing to take up their role in their homes, saying most of the men within the district have a tendency of abandoning their families and moving after other women, which brings about untold suffering and lack of support for their children, and leaving the women to suffer alone in raising the children.
These days, our men, our boys,
Dominic Anthony Okumu, West Nile TV, Nile Cast.
Wednesday edition of NILE Sports News. My name is Oraku Benson Pastore. I can confirm to you it is the week of Champions League, UEFA Europa League, and the UEFA Europa Conference League. And similarly, I can also confirm to you these are not the only things happening in the world of sports. Champions League is actually the biggest tier we have in European League, but also in the other parts of the world. So many things continues to happen in the world of sports. Before we look into European night, Champions League, let's first take a look at what is happening within the region, particularly in Arua City. I can confirm to you yesterday, Arua Central Division appreciates the best performance in sports 2024, and these were awarded with different prizes, and the categories of people who were awarded were the best performers, that's the pupils and also schools that have managed to perform very well as far as sporting disciplines are concerned this year, and also Mvaresine Secondary School being one of the secondary school awarded just because of ever providing sports facilities for different sporting activities. Let's take a look at the story.
With a few days to the Uganda National Examinations Board for the primary level candidates, Arua Central Division on the 22nd of August 2024 released and handed the PLE mock results to the schools that sat for the examinations. This was in a function attended by the division leaders and teachers at the division hall where the best schools were acknowledged. Honorable Osino Rashid, the Secretary for Social Services in Central Division, raised the challenge of paper printing for the fair performance and called for improvement in quality in the...
As a way of appreciating and recognizing the sports sector in Arua Central Division, different schools and personalities were awarded different prizes by different leadership sector in Arua Central Division. Among the schools that received the prizes are Mvaresine Secondary School, that was awarded a set of uniform as the best school not only in Arua City, but in the whole of the region for providing facilities for hosting a number of sporting activities. More so, a number of primary schools and personalities that have excelled in sports in 2024 have also received awards.
Now that we have this number of trophies, I am going back blessed and very happy because we are the city center, the heart of the city, and no other cock can come and crawl in our land. I even assumed that Diofe, where we held the games from, is our land in Central. And I want to take this opportunity to thank every member that contributed in one way or the other that has enabled us to have this number of trophies.
In athletics, the number of schools, participating schools, increased from 23 to 30 this year. In ball games, the number I'm comparing. Last year, we had 38 schools that participated in ball games. This year, the number went up to 46. In scouting, 2 schools participated last year. This year, the number increased to 4. In MDD, the number of schools that participated was 16, but this year the number has gone up to 23. On that note, I want to thank our teachers. We really need the fields as population is growing, but they are available here, available ones here. We really need to improve their condition and protect them. As I said, we had challenges with the UPSA and USSA registration. I think we took our teachers through the system. We have improved, though other schools still have challenges.
Arua Central Division collected over 10 trophies in the just concluded sporting activities, which have officially been handed over to the Office of Town Clerk. Oraku Benson Pastore, West Nile Television, NILE Sports.
We apologize for the technical error. Now straight into the European night, that's UEFA Champions League games actually started yesterday with AC Milan in the early kickoff of the night beating Club Brugge by 3-1. For Monaco, they registered the biggest win yesterday night, beating Red Star Belgrade 5-1. For Arsenal, they needed on goal to see that they beat Shakhtar Donetsk by 1-0. For Aston Villa, they still continue with their 100% start to the Champions League after beating Bologna by 2-0. The same scoreline registered by Girona of Spain over Slovan Bratislava, that comes from Slovenia. They won the game by 2-0. Meanwhile, for Juventus, they lost it late into the hands of Stuttgart. They had a red card. Stuttgart edged them by 1-0. For Real Madrid, they had to come from 2 goals down at Santiago Bernabeu to see that they swept aside Dortmund by 5-2. Vinicius Jr. with a hat-trick. Sporting Lisbon was away to Austria and they managed to beat Sturm Graz by 2-0. And lastly, Paris Saint-Germain did share the spoils with PSV Eindhoven, which ended 1-1. And also some games are set to be played tonight in UEFA Champions League. With just some few minutes away from right now, Atalanta welcoming Celtic at 8 p.m. The same time, Brest will be entertaining Bayer Leverkusen. Then exactly at 10 p.m., that's when Van dat Metropolitan is going to be painted red with Atletico Madrid set to host Lille. Meanwhile, the biggest game tonight is between Bayern Munich and Barcelona, and this game is at Camp Nou. For Feyenoord, they will take a trip away to Soccer Lisboa Benfica in Portugal. For Manchester City, they seems to be having an easy class with Sparta Prague. Meanwhile, for Liverpool, they are taking a trip away to Germany to face tricky RB Leipzig. Meanwhile, for Red Bull Salzburg, they are set to host that's Dynamo Zagreb in Austria. And for young boys, they will be welcoming Inter Milan in Switzerland. What about, I also need to highlight you with what is happening in the championship with some games set to be played tonight with Blackburn welcoming West Brom. Meanwhile, for they will say hi to Hull City with Luton welcoming Sunderland. Meanwhile, will they be having a date with Plymouth Argyle, and for Middlesbrough, they are set to host that's Sheffield United. And also, looking at some of the games that were played yesterday night, Cardiff managed to beat Portsmouth by 2-0, with Leeds registering a 2-1 win over Watford. For Oxford, they shared 1-1 draw with the team of Derby County. For Norwich City, they also shared the spoils, but this time with a different scoreline, which ended 2-2 with Crystal North End. And another draw was between Swansea and Sheffield Wednesday, which was a bad one. For Bristol City was also another draw. Stoke City played 2-2 with Bristol City. That's what I mean. And also another draw was between Queen's Park Rangers and Coventry City. That means in total, out of the 6 games, around the 7 games that were played yesterday, there were 5 draws. That means the games that were only ended in wins were only 2. Now, lastly, highlighting you with what is in the table standing of English Championship. On top is still Sunderland. They are having 22 points with the 10 games already played. Leeds, they have played 11 games. They are having 22 points also. Burnley, they are at number 3 with 21 points. Down in the relegation zone, we have got Coventry City with 9 points. That's at the number 22. At the second last is actual Queen's Park Rangers with 8 points. And the last team on the log is Portsmouth, also with 8 points. Why don't we close it there, and then we resume tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Rocco Benson Pastore, for that sports news and that sports highlight. Viewers, we have come to the end of the Nilecast on your West Nile Television. Thank you always for taking the time to be with us from the beginning of the Nilecast to the end of the Nilecast on your West Nile Television. Please stay tuned to the rest of the subsequent programs that will follow. My name remains Ukumaringa Christine.